Yo, what's going on guys, Arekkz here and welcome back to another Destiny video. And would you believe it or not, another mystery. It seems like the past couple of weeks have just been shrouded in mystery, starting with the whole Owl Sector thing the week before Rise of Iron came out, with those nanite swarms around your head. Then of course going into the raid with these kind of crazy monitors that people are trying to work out how to turn off so we can deactivate the laser grid. And now something else has cropped up in the form of a SIVA ARG. So, you guys might recognize this website. In the background, this is the Owl Sector website. Now, prior to the launch of Rise of Iron, that seemed to kind of go dead because, we had those nanite swarms, as mentioned. The site kept on sort of developing, there were more dialogues between the characters, and ultimately it led to nothing, right? Rise of Iron came out, the swarms disappeared, and we carried about our business. However, the site has since updated again. In the top left-hand corner is this number. It's actually a hyperlink. If you click on it, it then takes you to another Bungie.net page. All of this is completely legit. It's a Bungie.net page, and you have a networking simulation. If we then hit enter on begin, it then takes you to this. Now, this will be different for pretty much all of you. There are, of course, a finite number of combinations, but everyone will have a different one of these. It begins, you have a node, you then have an information forwarding protocol, a processing key, a processing initialization vector, and you then have a massive block of characters. This, believe it or not, or for the most part, seems to decode into an image that looks kind of similar to one of these. And at the very end, it then says, local resources insufficient to process data. Increase resources by combining processing keys with 7 other nodes per forwarding protocol. Now, for the most part, don't worry about, the complicated inner workings of this. The best thing that we can do, the best thing that all of you guys can do if you want to try and sort of help solve this, is actually to provide data. Because at the moment, it seems that everyone has a node. And if that node is then mutated and combined with a series of other data samples, you're then able to effectively decipher or kind of translate the code down below, and invariably it turns into an image, as mentioned. People are speculating these images, when assembled, perhaps might give us like a route through the maze, because that server farm, it just seems a little bit weird that it just does nothing. So there's probably something much bigger going on there. Of course, this could be completely unrelated to the raid. This could be something else entirely. However, for the time being, some people on Reddit have written some code which effectively takes the data that we have and converts it when we have enough data, and then it provides images. Now, of course, different combinations of different data samples lead to yet more images, but at the moment, the problem we have is that we don't have enough data. If every single person that plays Destiny has a Bungie.net profile and every single person has one of these, then the more data we get, the bigger the data sample, and of course that in turn leads to more images, which will hopefully lead to solving the problem. So what I thought I would do in this video is kind of tell you guys how you can help, explain how you can mutate your node, and explain where you should go to submit it, so that way we can again work as a community, because this is most definitely not something that one person will solve. This is something that we are going to have to solve again as a community. So to begin with, at the top of the screen you have a node. Mine is circle square circle circle square. And below that, you then have an information forwarding protocol. And this is basically the instructions on how to mutate your node. And this will always come in one of two forms. It will either be, as you see on my screen, a number sequence pointing to a new number sequence. So in my case, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alternatively, it will look like this, where one of the 5 characters will have a symbol on it, and that basically explains how you have to change that symbol. So I'll explain both of them, but let's start with my one. In my case, as mentioned, my node is circle square circle circle square, and within that combination there are 5 characters, hence 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That then points to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, indicating that I should revert the node. So the mutated node would be square circle circle square circle, i.e. that backwards. See? Simple as. And of course, if you were to have a different permutation of numbers, if it was like 4, 5, 3, 2, 1, then you would simply shuffle your combination around to match those numbers. Simple as that. That is your mutated node. Alternatively, if you have a forwarding protocol that looks like this, then there will be a little kind of square with some icons in over one of the 4 characters. This pertains to the symbol in your node. So for example, the one you see on screen, square, square, circle, diamond, circle, and on the 4th character or the 4th symbol, there is this forwarding protocol. And if you look at it closely, it says that square becomes circle, circle becomes triangle, triangle becomes diamond, and diamond becomes square. So, in this case, the mutated version would then be square, square, circle, square, circle. And as far as we've seen right now, these are the only 2 possible forwarding protocols. So you'll either have to convert a single symbol or shuffle the order of your symbols. But once you have that data, what do you then do with it? Well, there is a community portal, again, this is linked down below, where you can submit all of your information. So you basically scroll down, you type in your name, you then input your original node, which would of course be the one that you got at the very beginning, followed by the summary of your node, which is basically a text version so that people can use it programmatically. So for example, square would be S, circle would be C, triangle would be T, diamond would be D. After that, you then want to input your mutated node, which is of course the one that we swapped around. So of course, if you had to just reverse the order, then you put that in here. If you had to swap one of the symbols, again, that will go here. But either way, that goes in there, followed again by a text summary. So again, the letter for the respective shape. And finally, what you then want to do is copy in your processing key, your initialization vector, and the massive block of text. So again, if we revert to this site, that is this here, the processing key, the processing initialization vector, and then for the last one, yes, you copy and paste all of this down here. This is a massive wall of text, but copy that, ignore the bit at the bottom. This right here then goes into the final thing, and when you submit it, it will then go to a Excel spreadsheet, which loads and loads of people have been submitting data on right now. And again, as mentioned, the more data we have, the more useful it will be to the people kind of running this code. So that is, in a nutshell, where we are right now. As mentioned, the logic behind the code seems to have been cracked. It's simply now a case of just needing a mass load of data, as opposed to having to understand how to solve it. It seems like, kind of collectively, we've solved it. It just needs a crap ton of data. So if you're watching this video and you haven't done this yet, it would be massively appreciated if you could head over to bungie.net and join in the ARG, join in the fun with your node and your information, because that would be super cool. But either way, this is what we're working on right now. As mentioned, we have no idea what it leads to. It could be another red herring, it could be another dead end. It might well be that after doing this, absolutely nothing happens whatsoever. Or on the flip side, it could well be that once all of those images are revealed, they then join together to give us a really important piece of information, which could link to a weapon, something in the raid, something else entirely, maybe something that's coming in the future. Honestly, it could be anything. But for the time being, that is a summary of the current ARG, the current mystery, and that's also how to convert your nodes and how to input your data so that it can be useful for everyone. So, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any questions whatsoever, then let me know in the comments down below. Similarly, if you guys have any questions with regards to how to convert your nodes, then, we can always try and help you out in the comments down below. But either way, thank you for watching. Take it easy. Catch you next time. Peace out.